we're going to go back to Lee Spencer. I mean, I've said it all along here, but genuinely, I really don't know what's fucking coming here. What's your number one?
We've already had me and Mark have already matched once, haven't we?
Okay, so, let's play a little game here then. Mark, can you guess what he's going to say?
Well, he's going to guess because I've been going old to new, haven't
I? Resonate?
Yeah.
Resonate.
Love this song, man. And the Eclipse album, it was a flop, wasn't it? They literally went from this comeback and then they just like sold hardly anything, I believe. And I could never understand that. I think there's definitely a lot of the classic Journey on this album. Very guitar-driven song, this one. Pretty riffy, isn't it, Mark? Yeah. In that chorus, like that Sean's really riffing in there. Yeah. And it's like it's an ascending chorus that seems to like go up and up and up. And I remember I first heard this before the album came out. There was some YouTube concert, someone with a phone just at the front of the stage and recorded. This song was on YouTube, and I was like, I love that song. And I thought, I can't wait to hear that when it's on the album, and it didn't disappoint. Probably out of since Pineda's been in the band, probably my favourite song, I reckon, at this moment in time. But there's lots of them, so great song.
Thanks for that, Lee. That's fantastic work. Appreciate it, mate. Mark Clower, what have you got in store for number one?
This might be kind of an unlikely album to pick my all-time favorite Journey song from, but Trial by Fire, 1996, Message of Love. I remember, again, after, they'd been gone for 10 years, we never thought we would see Journey again, and the buzz came out that they had reunited. This was the first single they released, and I heard it on the radio before the album was actually released. And I vividly remember I was driving my car, and when it came on, I was just blown away. I said, this was worth waiting 10 years for. It was heavier than I expected. I mean, coming off of Raised on Radio, 10 years earlier, I remember when I heard they were reuniting, I remember thinking, what direction are they going to go? 1996 was a whole lot different than 1986.
Yeah.
The 90s in general, some of the music was, pretty bad and sounds pretty dated now. But when they released this as the first single, I was just blown away. This song just, it captures a lot of the 80s feel. In fact, I was listening to it last night. As a matter of fact, wife and I were coming home from eating. And I had never picked up on it, but toward the end of the song, there's a keyboard part that is very reminiscent of Separate Ways. When I was listening to it in depth last night, trying to decide, okay, do I want to make Edge of the Blade number one, or do I want to make Message of Love number one? I was listening to it in depth, and when that part started, I said, man, I never really noticed it. That's a direct influence from Separate Ways.
Yeah.
The whole song's just that drum beat, that Steve Smith drum beat is just drives the song. Just an amazing song. And honestly, I would love to have heard Perry sing this song live, but of course he never got the opportunity. But the Arrival show, Steve Augeri, they opened the show with that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, he did it justice.
Well, you surprised me because I did think it would be, when we started this video, I thought it'd be Edge of the Blade, but I like that you've done that. You brought that in because it reestablished that Escape Frontiers lineup. So I'm glad that you've brought that up as your number one and gave that the credit it deserves. Brilliant stuff, guys. Excellent. I've got a question for you. What do you guys think is my favorite song of all time by Journey?
Separate Ways.
Lee?
It's got to be Separate Ways.
You're right. The song, Separate Ways. The song keeps reinventing itself. It was on Stranger Things. It was a fantastic cover of this song out with Chris Daughtry and Lizzie Hale, where you would have liked that, Mark. They really made it a bit heavier and brought it up. My point is, though, that Separate Ways just keeps reinventing itself. It's the standout from Frontiers. It is the standout for me from Journey in general. That opening keyboard, I've said this to you before, Lee. It's like a siren. Just opens up with that. it's one of them songs that you can't get sick listening to. It is relatively timeless, a little bit of dated in there in terms of its production, but what a timeless song.
You know, if we're talking overall Journey songs my entire life, you know, overall my entire life, that would probably be my number one.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, my missus has got it on her list that she plays. You know, I can walk into the house and she's playing it, and because it's just so popular and so good and so well known.
It's and you know what, guys, it's the kind of song that it nearly doesn't, like, it's Perry's song, there's no doubt about it. But, you know, you can go onto YouTube and find a version of Dean Castronovo with the Journey Through Time project he did with Neil Sean. Arnel sings that unbelievably well. You know, there's videos of him in Japan singing it, videos when he first joined the band of him singing it. His voice is truly outstanding. I think he had a little bit of a hiccup when singing this song at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I think he might have been a bit daunted that night. Either he was daunted because Perry was in the crowd, or the sound engineer should be shot because there wasn't the right mix on it on the night. A bit of a hiccup on that at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. But in general, whether it's Perry, Castronovo, Augeri, Pineda, it doesn't matter. This song with any Journey singer, Jeff Scott Soto, it sounds good no matter which one of them is singing it. The song is that good. I want to throw it out to the room a little bit here, though. You know, it did. I know we've talked about Separate Ways a bit, but we haven't talked about the video. Where are you guys? Look, it's of its time. MTV is relatively new. You know, MTV is a new format in '83. You know, it's kind of, people are finding their feet a little bit on it. But where do you guys stand on the video? Lee, I'll go to you first.
There's been worse. There's been worse videos. I mean, look, whenever you look back that many years, you know, you just cringe at things, don't you? But it is what it is. I mean, it's funny to watch. It's so bad, it's good, I suppose. It's one of them, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, you can say that about films now, can't you? Almost take a cult status about how bad they are, and it's like, it makes it actually good. I don't. Yeah. The only thing is they were being totally serious. That's the problem.
Yeah, they weren't hamming it up at all. This was real, you know.
Yes.
But you've got everything to go on now, don't you? Like, you've got stuff to go on, whereas they were kind of doing it. I mean, that turn, I don't know if you guys remember, they just turned to the camera like that, y'all. It's just hilarious.
But I mean, it's just, it was a bad video, but almost like classic. It's so classic now.
But great in its own way. Great because it's so bad. Yeah. Mark, what are your memories of Separate Ways, Worlds Apart video?
Yeah, just the cheesiness adds to the charm of it. My wife loves the song, but absolutely hates the video. It was just of the time, you know. Like I said, MTV was new. It was a new frontier. No pun intended there. And you know, a lot of these bands didn't really know what was expected of them or what to do, so they were just kind of winging it. And,
yeah.
You know, so
I think it has to be one of the most unmatched things, is it? The music compared to the video.
Yeah.
Such a massive sound, epic sound.
They could have done so much better.
And then they're just jumping off of things like with air guitars and stuff.
Yeah, and standing on the dock of the bay, you know, or standing on in the harbour. And there's a very interesting story. The lady who was in the video of Separate Ways, she gives a great background story of how Perry was going off in a separate car and the guys were going off in other cars, you know. So the drama was beginning to unfold a little bit with Journey at this point, and it was fascinating to get an insight from a lady who was just an actress brought on and could see see that they were professional, but there was tensions on set which we wouldn't have got. So you could see the cracks as to why they didn't make another album for 3 years until they got to Raised on Radio. Guys, I mean, first time having this kind of video on my channel, and I said, when I sent you guys out an email, I said I couldn't imagine, you know, two better lads to have on. I love you guys like brothers, you know that. Yeah. So the contributions just here, it's just been unbelievable. So I just want to say thanks for coming on and just
pleasure,
mixing it up a bit, because if everyone thought the way I did, it'd be a very, very boring video, but you guys, you know, mixing it up a little bit. So thanks a million for coming on. I really appreciate it.
Of course, anytime.
Again, I'll say to everyone, subscribe to Lee's channel. The description is below. You will not find a better rock and reaction channel on YouTube. I promise you that. Subscribe to Lee on Iridium Rock and Metal Reviews. Thanks again, guys. Give us a like and let us know in the comments what your thoughts are. Cheers.
Cheers.
Don't stop.